Little girl, it's okay. I'm a pirate. You can come with me. Oh, what in tarnation?
The fuck was that?
Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, here to review Bleach chapter number 590 entitled March Out the Zombies. You know, I wanted to play an excerpt of Michael Jackson's Thriller right about now, but, you know, copyright and all that. In fact, I wanted that to basically be the soundtrack for this entire video, but, you know, because of that, I guess I'll just do the dance and you can fill in the music yourself. It's not the fucking same. Screw you, YouTube. So, chapter starts off with Giselle staring down Mayuri Kurotsuchi's luminescent outfit, which was introduced back in chapter 547 to combat the Quincy's because he didn't know exactly how the Quincy's related to Shadow, but he knew there was some correlation. So, here's my question though. I understand completely reformatting your laboratory so that like it had like a light-emitting floor, walls, and ceiling to make sure there's no shadows whatsoever, but you think that giant, you know, light bulb of a suit you're wearing would create more shadows? Because if you're in an enclosed room, alright, that's fine, but I mean, just having enough light isn't going to stop the shadow. I mean, it's objects that are in the obstruction of light that create the shadows, so, you know, you're standing around all this rubble, I'm just saying, you're just emitting more shadow, but whatever, doesn't matter. Maybe he used science to make sure that the light was so strong it permeated every, you know, shadow in the area, I don't know. Anyway, Giselle's basically trying to, you know, ask the same question she did last chapter. She doesn't know exactly who it is, or what they want because it's so bright out, so Mayuri's just basically like, how ignorant of you! When your opponent is of such a caliber as yours truly, one can't help but gleam with incandescent light. Jeez, dude, you really like hearing yourself talk, huh? Ha! You don't know the half of it, girlfriend. Boyfriend. Thing. Okay, thing. Like, you don't know the half of it, thing. You know, anyway, get the title page, chapter 590, Marching Out the Zombies, which is a really, I just want to say it again, because that's such a fucking awesome chapter title. I mean, I got excited as shit this morning when I popped my laptop open and I start reading that crap. I'm like, Marching Out this, oh man, this is gonna be kick-ass. And, you know, it's okay, it's above average. It wasn't anything I was, like, jumping off the walls for or anything, though. Anyway, we get a cut over to Ikaku and Yumachika who are still lying in the rubble that are basically just saying, well, it's hurting our eyes, too. We can barely see the fucking guy, but, you know, they figure it's Kurotsuchi because he's the only one that could be spouting off that stuff and the only one that would wear such a thing anyway. And we get an epic foot stomp from Giselle, who wraps her arms around Bambietta again, and I guess is about to go attack Mayuri with Bambietta's power and assistance. Oh, by the way, other little factoid, we find out that she could use volt standing in this chapter as well, Bambietta, that is. So, becoming a zombie means that, well, you can use all your abilities when you were a Stern Ritter. They don't go back to Yuha Bach, as well as you're able to still use your ultimate released forms. So, hey, I guess there's no drawbacks. Actually, that's not the case. There is a little bit of a drawback, maybe, possibly. Bambietta does still retain somewhat of her consciousness, and she delays attacking Mayuri because, I want Gigi's. Give it to me. Give it. I want. Oh my god, typical woman, am I right? Okay, that's good. Okay, stop it. Just stop it. Alright, I'm sorry. It was a joke, for the love of God. Put it down. So anyway, I guess this is indicating to Bambietta wanting Giselle's blood. Maybe that's like a thing, like maybe a major drawback of her power. If she doesn't constantly keep giving blood to her zombies to sustain their life force, they're either going to turn on her or they're just going to, you know, like die, like shut off essentially. And this really makes it even more resembling of the Return of the Living Dead. And I made this reference in the last video, but that video was like 25 fucking minutes long. I didn't have enough time to talk. There was like a bunch of deleted scenes. But basically, I was comparing what kind of zombie Bambietta would be. Would she be a typical Romero zombie, like Night of the Living Dead, where they crawl out of the ground and, you know, they shoot them in the head, you hit them hard enough in the skull, they die, just damage to the brain. There's another movie that I really love, probably one of my all-time favorite zombie movies, which is called Return of the Living Dead. And in that movie, you basically can't kill the zombies no matter what you do. You can shoot them in the head, you can cut off their arms, the arms will move after you, and they could speak as well, a major difference here. So she's more like that. She's being controlled by a third party, though, kind of like a puppet master. So, I mean, if you cut the string off a puppet's head, the puppet's still going to be able to move around. So in that case, I think maybe that's like her blood is the string, and that's like the medium that connects the two. Anyway, though, Giselle ain't having none of this, and bitch slaps Bambi Zombie right in the fucking face. I mean, let's get can we get that in slow motion? Okay, it's manga, so we don't go into slow motion. Can we get that to zoom in on that? Oh, man, that's beautiful. Look at that. That is incredible. Every single time you think of Bambietta doing some stupid act, like that's for you, random Quincy soldier that got screwed back in chapter 544 and then immediately got killed by Bambietta, freaking praying mantis style. That's for you right there. Boom! Right in the freaking cheek, too. That's awesome. Oh, I don't even care about Giselle's gender anymore. She's awesome just because she did that. Anyway, that's not good enough either. She then pulls up Bambietta by her hair and states that, oh, don't worry, trust me, you'll get what's coming to you when this is all over. Insert maniacal laughter here, I guess. I don't know. She's really starting to give me the creeps. In a good way, though. So in a vast contrast to how Bambietta behaved when she was alive, she starts to vehemently apologize to Giselle over and over again. Kind of like battered wife syndrome. You know what that is? Getting a little bit of dark subject matter here, but that's the situation where, you know, a husband comes home every night, starts beating his wife down, but the wife still doesn't want, you know, to be separated from him. She's so traumatized by the violence. She's like, officer, please don't take him to jail. That sort of thing. Kind of the same thing here with Bambi. She's, oh, no, you're too kind, I'm sorry for upsetting you earlier. That was a good bitch slap. I like that. Just please don't punish me. Anything but that, please, anything but that. Okay, you know what, this is pretty creepy, but I think we can do better. I think we can. All right, hold on a second. Let me just get this. All right, okay. So, all right, first of all, let's let's try adding some stitches to the mouth. That's good right there. Let's black out these eyes, too. Let's just get rid of that. And, okay, that's looking pretty good. It's missing something. Just one more final, finishing touch to make it sheer nightmare fuel. Let's see, oh, I know. Let's do what everybody does on the internet when they want something really creepy to look even more creepier. Let's just invert the damn color scheme. Bam! Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, that'll be in your night terrors tonight, kids. Oh, yeah. Alright, so, after that brutal display of sheer abject unmitigated terror, Giselle looks back over to Mayuri, who has now turned down the brightness on his suit. So you finally stopped glowing, or what? What? Oh, yes, I just had to turn the brightness setting on my suit down, my girl. They exchange a little bit more dialogue before she just makes Bambietta go volt standing and blow the ever-loving shit out of Mayuri. Son of a bitch just cut off my explanation. You do not cut off Mayuri Kurotsuchi's explanation. Nemu, you know what to do. The Pokeballs, sir. The Pokeballs, yes. So while Bambietta is setting off her reishi bombs to infuse with objects to cause the explosion, Mayuri and Nemu are tossing out these there's nothing else to call them, guys. They're Pokeballs, alright? They're freaking Pokeballs. You know, Mayuri's Pokemon trainer, Nemu's freaking Misty. They're just having a blast in the Johto region, whatever. Ah, yes, I think the next gym is up here, Nemu. Pikachu! Ah, look at it, Nemu. It's so adorable. Let's dissect it. Pikachu! Oh, yes. Let's find out exactly what an electric sack even is. That was actually really disturbing. I think I need to bleach my childhood. Anyway, though, the Pokeballs are actually something that was devised by Mayuri. I'm assuming that he was keeping tabs on all the battles that were going on in the Seirete. At the same time, maybe he, set out those surveillance bacteria to all the different members of the Gotei in order to, gather all the information, because these devices seem to be perfectly designed to counter Bambietta's ability, so he obviously knew about it, maybe through his battle with Koma or Shinji, or, one of the two. Anyway, the Pokeballs basically work like this. After the Reishi is infused from Bambietta using her power, the Explode, the Pokeballs basically do turn into explosives. So they're not like the balls are immune to it. They do become explosives. However, Mayuri rigged them to the point where they can actually delay the explosion to, I guess, whatever time limit he sets. He tells Nemu to delay it by 3 seconds, so you'd think he could set it for even longer than that, but Mayuri doesn't play like that, okay? He doesn't do anything by, playing it safe. He's just like, 3 seconds should be good enough for me to, work with it, kind of mindfuck her a little bit, so let's just keep it with that, shall we, Nemu? So yeah, so now he set it for that way, so whenever Bambietta's explosions will, go off, there'll always be 3 seconds delayed. So that's basically how he's able to figure all this shit out, and he caused the explosion to blow up basically right in Bambietta and Giselle's face. Giselle uses Bambietta as a human shield to block the brunt of the attack. Meanwhile, Mayuri lands on the ground and basically, just kind of dangles the Pokeball right in her face and, explains its properties. It basically says, yeah, I beat you with a child's plaything. What's next? Now, what's next? Yeah, why don't you girls just come on down to my secret sex dungeon? I mean, laboratory! Yes, we have free Wi-Fi down there, and candy, and, whatever you girls like these days. And we'll have just a good old-fashioned time. Giselle's a little curious what Mayuri meant by just the two of them when she says, what are you talking about? I have a whole army of the undead! And this is where I think they kind of screwed over this chapter. I was expecting that, and this would be a perfect opportunity for this, that Giselle just resurrects all the dead Quincy's that we saw like one-off. She could have resurrected Bernice and Jerome and, okay, maybe not Driscoll because he was kind of burnt into, he was incinerated by Yamamoto, but, Lloyd and Royd. Okay, no, he was kind of incinerated by Yua. What's with the incineration theme? I don't know. There's a lot of that theme. Gremmy, okay, Gremmy was a brain in the jar. I don't know if that would imply, but you know what I'm talking about. She could bring back all these Stern Raiders that we didn't know what their, abilities were completely because Kenpachi one-shotted them. And that could be a way to introduce them back into the story and actually get a full explanation of what they can actually do. But no, she just brings back a bunch of random Shinigami, and I understand why she did this. She even mentioned why. Shinigami are a lot easier to manipulate than Quincy's, but these Quincy's are already dead anyway. I mean, a BG9 or Kane Do, if they're dead, if, Hashwald had to kill them, freaking, okay, no, once again, Maste Masculine is incinerated, so damn. But anyway, Yuma, Chika, and Ikaku look on, and as they recognize a lot of the Shinigami that were brought back, who look almost exactly the same as when they were alive. I mean, come on, Bambietta got a whole darker scheme. I mean, she looks a lot similar than what she was when she was alive. She doesn't actually look like a zombie. You don't see anything, rotting off of her, but she still looks different. These Shinigami look like exactly the same they're always drawn. I mean, come on, Kubo, you couldn't have spared a couple of darker shades of, you at least whited their eyes out or something. I don't know, they look all the same. So Gistelle's basically saying that, yeah, she's been stockpiling these zombies for a while now. Mayuri has a very clever retort to this, though. This won't do in the slightest. So, I guess this is hilarious. Mayuri states that he doesn't want to fight the Shinigami members that have been revived because he's such a benevolent and compassionate could not say that with a straight face. You could tell me, you could tell me that Yuha Bach was a benevolent and compassionate individual. I would be able to say that with a straight face. I would be smirking, but I wouldn't be able to burst out laughing, okay? That is an impossible statement to say. This is the guy that single-handedly was responsible for brutally maiming over 2,000 Quincy's. He basically committed mass genocide with his own 2 hands. God! Anyway, I'm thinking maybe it's either because he doesn't want to dirty his hands with such fodder, himself, and he doesn't want to, maybe worried about getting the blood on him. Maybe that'll affect him in a negative way. Nemu's there, but Nemu it's strange in this chapter. She shows up one time to, toss out the Pokeballs, but she's not wearing the outfit she wore in 547, which doesn't make any sense, and also, she, mostly just because I like that outfit. She looked hot in it, whatever, I don't care, don't judge me. And number 2, Nemu could take out these Shinigami, low-life peons in a second, flat. And it doesn't matter because, if she gets her blood, if she gets the blood on her and she becomes a zombie, because I'm sure Mayuri, he was, when they fought against Zeal, freaking Nemu died, and Mayuri didn't give a shit. I'm sure if, Nemu ever became a threat to, or became hijacked and became a threat to Mayuri, I'm sure Mayuri would have a way of turning her off, so I don't know why he just didn't send her to do it. But whatever, I guess it's just because he wanted a chance to show off this newest inventions he's got. Good news, everyone, I've developed zombie technology as well. Brains, cerebrals, makeup, body glitter, ooh, Arankai. Do be dears and make yourselves useful. And that's it. The chapter ends with Mayuri calling in his secret weapon, Arankar's Charlotte Coolhorn, Lupi Antenator, Shiruchi Sanda Witch, and Dordoni Alessandro del Sarcaccio. You can tell they're zombies because they have stitches on like one part of their body each, which is even funnier when you consider most of these guys didn't even die in a manner which caused the stitches. For example, Charlotte Kuhorn wasn't even killed with physical force. Yumachika wrapped his Ruryoku Jockle around him and basically siphoned off all of his Ryatsu. That's how he died. And then yet he has a scar right across his freaking happy trail. Loopy is here though, which is fucking astounding, considering for the fact of, oh, I don't know, he got his entire upper half blown off by fucking Grimmjow. I mean, really, if you're even gonna compare death scenes in Bleach, Loopy got the short end of that stick, because a lot of deaths in Bleach are just like either off camera or they're very artistic, but no, freaking Loopy, Grimmjow, like, Orihime, heal my freaking tattoo, that's great. Loopy's like, what the hell are you doing, Grim? And then just sarrowed the hell out of existence. So, I know Arrancars have high-speed regeneration and everything, but I'm pretty sure it's been established, if not just like flat out explained in the series at some point, that when their head is either severed or obliterated, that's it, game over. You ain't coming back from that. Even Ukiura kind of said, and this might have just been specifically for Ukiura, that he can't regenerate his brain or internal organs. That might be how high-speed regeneration works for all the Arrancars. Make a lot of sense, but yeah, I don't know how Loopy's here. Alright, so, this calls back one thing to Silaparo's lab, exactly how Mayuri gathered all these corpses. Now, it would make sense where he got Charlotte at, because Charlotte was just a corpse lying on the fake Karakura town, so, Mayuri could have went around and picked him up at his leisure. As for Dodoni and Shiruchi, it's been pretty much already explained that they were the corpses hanging in Silaparo's lab. I don't know why this was such a big mystery. Like, for years now, I've saw this question pop up on the internet every now and then, like, what are the bodies in Silaparo's lab? What were those bodies in Silaparo's lab? When is Kubo gonna explain it? They were fucking Shiruchi and Dordoni. I figured this out, like, the first time I read that chapter. I went on a whole rant on a live stream, like, well, it couldn't be. It was. It was them. If you really, really want to go, long with it, maybe one of the bodies was Lupe, because Lupe also had kind of like a long flowing, a robe like that. But there was no other. It would make perfect sense. Like, the Pre-Verona Spotted just got executed by the Exexius, and no other Arrancar that was dead was around. Aranyero was still on his area with Rukia. Antimbine didn't die. He was healed by Unohana. I hope he shows up again. So after you remove those from the equation, really only Chiruchi and Dordoni were the ones that were left that we would have known as a fandom that would be hanging there. So yeah, that was them. And Loopy, I have no idea. Maybe he created a clone of him. That's actually the only explanation I could come up with. He figured out some way to clone Loopy, because that's the only way I could figure it out. Anyway, though, I'm sure Yumachika's having fun at this new site, though, I'm sure. Oh, does anybody have any hand lotion? Oh god, no. No, holy mother of hell, I'm not dealing with this guy again. Oh, hey, you're that guy that killed me that one time. Would you like to see me do a squat throw? Okay, what, fuck it. It's been a pleasure to work with you guys. Ikaku, Angela, Tekking. But, yeah, I think I'm just gonna clock out now. You guys can finish the rest of the series without me. I wasn't really that big of a main character, okay? Have fun figuring out all the Stern Ridder's abilities without my amazing tactical skills. See you guys. Okay, then, Yumachika, have a fun time. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Did not expect him to do that. Don't let anyone bring you down. Everyone thought I was a girl when I was first introduced, too. Really? Wait, you mean you're not? No, I'm a guy. I am just really into tentacle hentai. Like, seriously.